got special guest in the building.
Special guest.
Okay.
Hey, I want Andres.
Hip hop.
Can you introduce our other guests that we have here?
Oh man, our other guests. Don't put no pressure on me, Rap. Don't do that. I've known him for mad long, at least a decade now.
Dang.
One of the best MCs. I don't like doing this. I don't like to do the female MC thing.
Yeah.
She's one of the best MCs in the game.
Boom,
Point
boom.
blank, period. Grammy nominated. At least 2 classic albums under her belt. And was part of Shawn's final entrance.
Mm-hmm.
The amazing, spectacular Rapsody is with us.
Hey, what up? Hey. Rap on the Porter way.
Yeah.
Special. Like, man, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna hold this for a second.
Do it.
Because like when I see Rap, like I've known Rap for a while, but it's one thing when you see MCs that are dope and fulfill their potential, right? Like I saw it in you early, but it's another thing when they're still the same person that they were when you first met them.
Mm-hmm.
And the day that I met Rap, I was like, I just love her. Her energy is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's a decade later, and I was like, she ain't got to talk to me. She got Grammy nominations. She over here doing songs with Queen Latifah. She ain't got to talk to me, but she's still the same person. And we'll talk about the ring interest, but when I called you, I was like, man, she might be too busy for me.
What's good, Rap?
What's up? I'm happy to be here.
Man, listen, I'm happy that you here.
Come on.
And I know you met a couple of my family, and they actually out there when they said, oh.
Yeah, they're my cousins now.
Right. So they on the low, my friend Alma, she was like, I didn't know you knew her like that. I said, I don't. I said, but she mad cool. She just like us. So let's just roll with it. And we've been rolling ever since, man.
Straight
you are
up.
the best.
Nah, you the best.
Nah.
We all the best together.
I'm copycatting you, that's all.
I told Dre, like, I'm big on energy, and I felt your energy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I rock with Shawn.
Yeah.
Because I'm in album mode, and I don't come outside. when I'm
Oh,
in
snap.
album mode.
Yeah.
I told Dre, I was like, you know I don't do this, right? Like, when I'm in album mode, nobody can get me to come out. So
Yeah.
the fact that I came out here for 3 days with you,
Yeah.
that just lets you know how much I love
Dang,
you.
look, yo. Why you do that?
Yo,
Dang.
you good people.
That's
It's like you leaving camp.
yeah.
Breaking
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Thank you.
Who would I break camp
Thank
for?
you. Nobody.
Demetrius
I wouldn't break camp for you.
I know.
Keep real.
Hey, bro, I respect it. I told him, I said, when I get back, though, I'm not coming outside.
Yeah,
no more.
wow. That's what's up. I know you
Glad
told
I
me you're
did,
working
though.
on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a release date?
I have one in mind, but I never say
Yeah.
because people hold you to that.
Yeah.
That to be determined is all they got to get from me.
Yeah.
You'll get it when you get it.
You know, I wake up some days, I'm like, I'm almost done. And I wake up some days, I'll be like, we starting all over today.
Dang.
So it's a process.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's get into it real quick. I had explained to everybody last week, listen, this is a boxing weekend. And for me, I'm trying to make it as big as possible. Keith's the guy in my mind. And I'm like, yo, if he's coming to town, that means some tickets going to be sold. It's going to be some people here. Let me get some of my people in and let's do it big. So happy birthday, Alma. Her birthday was this week. And then my mom, and then I asked my mom to come in. She out there. What's up, mama?
Happy birthday, mama.
Yeah, no, it ain't her birthday. She's just here.
But have
Yeah.
your
She
early
got a
bir-
birthday this
have-
year?
Have your early
Happy
birthday.
birthday,
It's
Alma.
it's in June or July.
Don't
one of
matter.
them.
Wow.
It's in June. It's in June. And then it just kind of became this thing where I'm inviting everybody in.
Yeah.
I looked at my wife. I said, "Look, nobody. This is the last of the Mohicans. I'm not inviting nobody else in." But you know, we got down on the ATVs, the Razors,
Yes.
and that was a good. It was a good time.
It was a good time.
you kept
it
it
wasn't
safe?
as much adrenaline as
Yeah.
it was supposed to be. But it was a good time.
Yeah. And how you feel about it, Andres?
What, the ATV?
Yeah.
I mean, at first I was like, we gonna be jumping the rap. No, I was like,
Andre was scared as hell.
yeah, I was like, we
man.
gonna be popping wheelies, we gonna flip over.
Yeah.
I got family at home. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
And then we got in there, and I was like, oh, we going 20 miles an hour.
We was on a
You
scenic
thought it was
route.
gonna be the Rough
I
Riders.
know. I'm
You
like,
thought it was gonna be the Rough Riders anthem video.
Yeah, I thought we popping wheelies.
Sean, that's not us. I wasn't there.
I thought we was
No,
gonna be doing jumps over sand
Yeah.
dunes.
I
like-
promise, like,
doing?
and I have this in my mind is crazy. So
Turned
I'm
into
like,
driving Miss
the
Daisy.
whole drive, I'm trying to get myself, don't think, just drive, because I was so livid at how slow we were going. And then I thought we had left some of our people behind, like the four singles took off by ourselves. I'm like, damn, like we left our people behind. I had somebody come out fly a drone. They not gonna get me. You know what I mean? All this and that. And so we were going slow. I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing to nobody else and kill it for nobody else. Like, 'cause y'all had never done it before. So I'm like, if they enjoying it, then I'm enjoying it.
Right.
And then I told my guy Renee, shout out to Renee, he was in the first seat, right?
Okay.
So the guy gets out and tells Renee, I can only go as fast as the slowest driver. And so
Somebody was out there using blinkers. What the hell was going on?
so basically what happened was the leader
Yeah.
was here and Renee's supposed to be here, but Renee kept falling back.
Oh, Renee was slacking. Okay.
So when we got to switch,
The weak
we
link.
got to the spot. I said, "Yo, let me get that front spot right quick." He was like, "All right." We took off, and it was on after that. But for a minute, man, I was like, "I don't even want to be here, man. This is embarrassing. I might ask for my money back." I said, "They ain't getting no love on the podcast." Like all these is going through my mind, all of it. I was like, "I ain't getting no love on the podcast." It's like, oh, you flying the drone for your podcast? I was like, yeah, you ain't gonna be on it. all that. But I felt like we finished strong.
Did you
know
tell
what I
him what
mean?
happened last time?
No, I ain't tell him. I ain't tell him.
What happened?
I ain't want to scare nobody.
Sean
Yeah.
was from here to that wall from dying.
That's
What you do, bro?
that's true, actually.
Flip 4 times.
Don't say dying, though. Don't say dying.
You
Oh,
done fighting.
You flip your
Flip 4
joint?
times in front of me.
Stop.
And his wife. Almost didn't make it to the second baby.
I didn't flip
and-
4
and
times.
actually-
Just slow
and-
down.
How
and
many?
jump-
3?
Slow once. Look. And when we flipped, I was so confident that we was gonna go all the way back and be straight. Look, we went doom. And when we was coming up, I said, "We got it." No, we don't.
His
like Top
co-pilot
Thrill
was
Dragster?
6'5", 400 pounds.
That's true.
Oh,
Is he
man.
4?
Yeah,
Who
that-
bust him
Oh,
out like that?
300. He gonna kill me. He gonna kill
that
me.
seemed crazy.
But he was big.
Oh, it was off in weight.
Yeah. So
And we
look,
had to get the jaws of life to get him out.
They had to cut him out of there?
Yeah, we had to cut him out.
Oh,
Yo.
nah, I said, Toby, you all right? He said, yeah, I'm cool, man. You all right? I said, yeah, I'm good. He said, I think I got a concussion. I said, no, you don't, man. Don't say that. You okay?
Man,
Who are you again?
if Dre had known that, there's no way he would have.
Oh no, if I'd have knew that,
Yeah,
Oh,
nah.
So that's what I thought y'all did.
yeah,
Nah.
no, if I'd have known that, I would have been riding with rap. Like, you got this. I gotta live. I gotta get home and explain this one to my wife. I ain't trying to die.
So then we did the paintballing.
I missed that.
That
bro.
was smooth.
She ducked us.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
man,
felt like she ducked it.
It was a busy weekend in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, you mean
Flights was like,
album
nah.
Yeah. We gonna get you back when you
told her.
not cutting the album.
Yeah,
we'll do it
yeah,
after
yeah.
when the album release. We'll have you back
Straight
back
up.
out.
That's what we're gonna
Yeah,
celebrate.
we'll have you back
Absolutely.
out with that when the album release.
It's a jacked up way to celebrate getting shot with a paintball.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I was all concerned. I was like, I heard that hurt. Sean was like, who told you that? Black people? I was like, yes.
I said that. I said it only hurt for 15 seconds. But we had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And the other main reason to bring you out was just to show you mad love.
Man.
So let's go back real quick. We're gonna tell this quick story, then we gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
So when our shout out to who's doing my shirts and stuff. Looptify. Shout out to Looptify. When I was getting with Looptify, we hadn't even papered anything, penned anything yet, and they were like, "Hey, what are you gonna do for your walkout?" I said, man, I don't know, but I got to do something. And I knew this was gonna be my last one, so I'm like, I gotta do something big, right? And they said, well, what about the Jabberwockies walk you out? I said, boom, hit them up, and I had been waiting weeks to find out whether or not we were gonna do it, and this was the week before the fight.
A couple weeks before the fight.
No, I'm talking about when we put our thing together. Or was this week of? No, it wasn't the week of.
No, it was a couple weeks before. We had a little bit of time because I think we
It had to be the week
I
before.
like you're making a dramatic roll with it.
Yeah, we're gonna make it dramatic.
Let's go.
It was the
It was the
week
fight.
before the fight.
We had to fly her in.
7 whole days.
Well, time was running short, to say the least. And so I hit my guy up and said, hey, what's going on with the Jabberwockies? They're busy. Actually, what Dave Chappelle believed. They're busy and they can't do it. So I'm like, I got off the phone with them. I'm on the highway driving home. I'm like, dang, I got to do something. And Big E comes to mind. And I said, Big E, I've already done that. Like, I'm not really,
Repetitive.
I'm not a repetitive dude. You know what I mean? So I'm like, nah, I can't do that.
What about LL? I'm bad. Maybe he'll walk me.
I kept thinking, I'm like, I think it's got to be Big E, right? So I hit him up, and Big E said, man, I would love to do it again. I said, yeah. I said, but if we do it again, it's got to be bigger than we did it before.
Yeah.
I said, we can't do the same thing we did. I said, not that wasn't good, but this one got to be big. He said, man, I'm all over it. Let's hit up Andres. We hit you up, and you said, man, I'm all for it. Let's go. And I swear to God, like this was literally the week before the fight. It was really close. It was really close. It was close that we were on the phone every day.
Yeah, that's
how close it was.
Yeah.
So and I think it was the week before the fight. So you hit me up and you said, hey, would you want somebody to walk you out to the ring? I said, nah, I think that's tacky. I never really liked that. I've always said I never wanted a rapper to walk me to the ring. That's what I told you. And you said, all right, well, think about it. It's all right. So then you threw a name at me, and I was like, all right, go for it. And we couldn't get the name that you threw at me, right? But then you said, what about Rapsody? Now you put me on Rapsody sometime early 21 or 2020.
It was like 19.
Was it?
Yeah, it's before Eve dropped. I put you on the rap.
Oh wow.
This was Layla's Wisdom was the first album I sent you for rap.
And no joke, when I first heard you, I was like, this can't be no woman.
I get that a lot.
And I heard
Bars.
not only bars, but she got multiple styles. Yeah. And again, not being repetitive, that gets me. When you dynamic and you got versatility, you look at my boxing game, versatility, you know what I mean? And so I was rocking with you, right? And he said, well, what about Rapsody? I said, hold on. I said, I like her rap, I like her game, but I gotta find the right song. I said, don't hit her up until I find the right song. So I went through your whole inventory. I went through it all, right?
Oh.
Went through it all, right? So while I'm going through it, we figured out what we were gonna do with Big E, and you sent me a clip of Big E's first promo that he had done for WWE.
Yep.
And essentially, this is how it all ties together. Big E was he basically a pastor?
Yeah, so
preaching?
So basically, when Big E came to the WWE, they kind of just made him like the angry black wrestler for a long time. And then they put him in a faction where it was like a riff on like Kurt Franklin, like they had the choir. But Big E's he came from a church family, so he's always had the big pastor voice. And me and him been friends for a while. And I was like, yo, it's like the 7th anniversary of y'all first promo before the New Day became the New Day. They were like the highest merch sellers in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And E hit me, and he was like, if you know E, he's like, woo, I like that. And then we talked about it, and I was like, yo, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Because, it fits perfect.
Yeah.
So we discussed that, how that would work, and he had his idea, like having the stained glass, and then we just started building on it. I think that's when you found the song. Like, it all came together real quick.
So my thing was, I try to be a reflection of God. I try, when people see me, I want them to see that I'm faithful. I want them to see that God is real. I want them to see that blessings are real, praying is real, all of that. That's what I want people to see when they see me. So you really don't see that when I fight. So I was like, okay, I'm going to always come out to gospel music. At the least, you'll hear God.
Right.
At the least, you'll hear, you know what I mean, praise and worship before I get in the ring. And so I had been on that for a long time, and I was like, I don't think this is gonna work with Rapsody bringing me out, because I don't think she has like that kind of music. So I'm like going through and I seen Godzilla. And when I saw Godzilla, I listened to it, right? And I was picturing all of it in my mind. We wanted Big E to be a pastor preaching about Showtime Shawn Porter. If you haven't seen Showtime Shawn Porter, let me tell you who he is, and really bring it really hard and raw and really in a pastoral way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I was like, we can't do that. And then I come out and you got to bleep half the words, anything like that. And when I heard Godzilla, I sat back. I said, I got it. I said, hit her up. We got the song. Hit her up. And you just all love, like from day one. We hit you up. It was short notice for you. I told you exactly, what we wanted to get done, and you was able to come through and make it happen. Not only that, y'all, I don't know what happened with the outfit. What happened with your outfit?
My outfit?
Yeah. Then you ended up like going out and buying an outfit when you got here, right?
Yeah. My stylist was supposed to come with me, but last minute she couldn't come, so I'm like, shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, when I get there, I'm going to run to the mall, because I had half of it. I needed the pants part. And it's so hard to find black pants. I just don't understand.
It is.
And I needed a shirt. I needed both of those. Boom, boom. I had my brother with me. He went one way in the mall. I went the other way. I had the coat, though. He was like, wear black and orange. I was
so
like,
fly.
I got that main piece. just let me get some black pants and, a little shirt. And
Yeah.
by the grace of God, like, you just let it go, and it rocked out.
So I'm trying to be like in fight mode, not talk to nobody, be away and all that kind of stuff. But this the last intro, so this got to jump off the way I see it in my mind, Right. So I stayed online with y'all as much as possible. I ordered in the robes that the choir was wearing. I went up to the church and had a meeting with the secretary of the church. She said, "Oh yeah, no problem. We're here for you." Sent people down. I didn't have to deal after I put everything on Andres over there. I didn't have to deal with nothing, and they handled it all. But it ended up being one of the top 2021 intros for boxing, and in large in part because of you. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna say small part. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that y'all put the whole idea together.
Yeah.
He was telling me the idea, but I was like, I can't see it, but I'm gonna just show up. And I got there and I was like, the stained glass, the choir. I was like, oh, this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I was just happy to be a part of it. Like, it was an easy yes for me.
I wanted to ask you about Godzilla. Like that song resonates with me. I'm a little dude, you know what I mean? And in a big pond that we swim in, you know what I mean? This
Right.
big world that we're in, you have to be big. And listening to that song, I'm like, this is everything that I am. And on top of that, she's looping God into the song. I said, this has to be the song. Like, where's the inspiration in that song for you?
Man, I think me and you relate in a similar way. Like, people see me and they look at me. It's very, what you do, sing?
Yeah.
Like, nah, I rap. and
Yeah.
I'm cold. I will get you. So it's just tapping into, like, the beauty and the beast part of it. You find the beauty in God, but hey, God gave me a power and I'm going to use that thing, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Don't get this confused. The faith in you, the determination, the will, that's the Godzilla. That's the monster part. That's the big part. So, we just have fun with it, man. It was just in the studio, and sometimes I get in there and I don't have a concept. I just write. Whatever flows. I let the pen take me, and that's where it took me.
And for me, that song also, last thing I'm going to say, then I'll let y'all cut in, but that song, like the way you loop the words throughout the entire song, to me, I don't know all your music, but in my mind, the first word that comes to mind is vintage. I'm like, that's classic Rapsody right there in that song. And so, like, when I found that one, I said, oh, it's a rap. I was like, this is the one. And it's literally one of my favorite songs now.
Man, that's a lot. To be crazy, like, that's a lot of people's favorite song. I did that in 2013.
It was old. I went back.
Oh, yeah.
I told you I went through it all.
He was scrolling. He was like,
It's
I got a
so
fight
like,
coming up.
I don't even listen to it no more because I'm picking it apart. Like, oh, I could have said this. I could have done this better. But, man, a lot of people relate to that song. And so, like, I'm thankful it resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite joints to perform, too, though.
That's what's up.
You talked about being cold. My introduction to you was on one of my favorites of all time, Big Crit.
Yeah, you
Guillotine
talked about
Flow.
that
I
on
was
the way
like,
here.
anyone that can be on the track with Big Crit and not get washed out, I was like, that's next level.
Me and Shawn got that in common, right? Like, you never back down from anyone, right? I was the same way. I was like, I want to rap with the best of the best. Like, I want to earn mine, and I have rapped with the best of the best. Big Crit, Kendrick, Jizza, J. Cole, like, you name it, I've rapped with all of them. And either I out-rapped them or we stood eye to eye. We dapped each other at the end, like, good showdown, bro. So, that's dope. Like, that's what I want. That's how you raise your bar. That's how you become the greatest.
But one question I had was a little too deep. It was kind of negative too about the music industry and stuff. But I don't.
That's a different podcast.
We got 5 minutes if you want.
I'll just keep it simple then.
Yeah.
I know, reading about it a little bit. You loved MC Light and Lauryn Hill, and it's some, especially rappers from the East Coast. And I know you're North Carolina, but when I got to see Salt and Pepper perform a couple years back, and they were going through their hits, and that was great. But then there was one song when Peppa, she spit, like she just went old school, and it was just bars. It wasn't like it wasn't for entertainment. And when she did, I learned what the word ultramagnetic was. I felt it. It was like she grabbed the mic with power, and you could feel it in her hand movements, and I imagine you got plenty of that in you, and you carry, like Shawn carries it on for the Marvin Hagler. He takes that torch to keep that alive. is with you. And yeah, how would you break down that power you get on the mic, being ultra magnetic? You know what I mean?
I think first you gotta have a passion and purpose in it, right? Like if it don't come through you, then it's not gonna come through you at all. So for one, I found a purpose and passion through the music, right? It tells a story. Like it's something for me that's therapy. It's a way for me to speak for others. It's a way for me to be inspiration for others. Like for me to travel all around the world, like kids in Africa, little girls in Africa, and they look up to me and be like, I want to be like you, right? And to be the difference in what you see in the media all the time. That's not necessarily a full representation of what hip hop and what women in hip hop look like. Like that's purpose and passion. So, you know, it means something to me. So when I get on stage and perform, you know, that's the love for it comes through. You know, like the bar said, this ain't a game for me. You know, I come because I respect the culture and I know how it changed my life. So in order to keep the culture going in the way that we have to, the bar has to stay up here. And when you lower the bar, you lower the culture and what it means. So it's already being watered down when you think about mainstream media.
Which is what I was going to.
TV. Yeah. So it's taking, you know, some artists like myself that are legacy artists that want to get back to it. We got to keep the bar up here. Yeah, have fun with it, but we can't let people forget the difference in entertainment and the essence of what the culture is. So that's the balance. It's all about balance for me.
Because I've taken so much from it. It gives me energy. You know, MCs like yourself. You know, so absolutely.
And both of us being from the South, we kind of understand this. We both from a small.
He ain't from the. You don't understand.
Where you from?
Shout out to Sid. Where
you from?
Bunkie, Louisiana, small town. Don't worry about it. Where your town from?
Oh, I'm from Snow Hill, North Carolina.
Exactly.
The stick.
So you know, basically coming from a small town. You know, at the end of the day, I had a grandmother that always told me, dream bigger.
Yeah.
Don't let your mom and your dad limit you because they didn't do it, so they'll say you couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Remember what we went through to the middle of the passage to get here? What would you say to like a young black girl in a small town that no one's giving her inspiration? Like she sees you, and to her it's like, okay, it's possible.
Right.
It's possible.
Man, you got to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. Anybody that ever wanted to do anything, they had to envision it first. You got to have vision and then just go for it, right? Like I was talking to Alicia Keys, and she told me, she was like, close your eyes. She's like, open it. She's like, what do you see? You know, she said infinite possibilities. So it just takes you in taking that one step and believing in yourself and going for it. It's the person that succeeds is always the person that didn't give up. Mm. Always. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You know, so it's having vision to think outside of your circumference and not being in the fishbowl. Once you understand the place I live is not a fishbowl, I'm not chained to anything. You know, you just go with the flow. And create
top 5 most subtle Alicia Keys name drop in history, by the way. Talking to Alicia Keys.
I always tell people back from my hometown state, I said, your biggest problem is you won't leave this town.
Yeah.
Leave this town, leave this state, and then the world is yours.
Yeah, that always blows my mind. Like I was on tour with a guy from New Orleans, and we had to stop in his town, and he was telling me right over the bridge is where he was from. He was like, you'd be amazed that people I lived when I grew up would have never been over the bridge into New Orleans. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, they've never been over the bridge. They had no reason to go to. Go to New York, there's some people that have never left the boroughs.
Yeah. Yep.
They'd be like, I haven't been. Why I need to go to Brooklyn? Why I need to go to the Bronx? Like, that is amazing to me. Like,
I got a cousin. I got a whole group of family members who never left Brooklyn. Like they
yeah.
won't get on a plane. Won't go to go to Florida. Everybody from New York goes. But yeah.
Don't need to ask them where Brooklyn's at. They're there.
Where Brooklyn?
I went back to
Like,
Louisiana.
yeah, right about here.
I went back to Louisiana and took my whole family to Fogo de Chao. They didn't even know nothing like that existed.
Yeah.
Blew their mind.
Right.
It's like all you can eat. I was like, yeah. Not it's like high school. I'm like, yeah.
So that you find out that's the biggest thing, like exposure, and it's got to start at a young age. You gotta expose people to things so they know it's real and attainable.
Andres, if it's not clear, I had you also ask you to come on to the podcast as well, because you kind of, the way you say I'm the glue of was the glue of the welterweight division. You were the glue that put all this together. First time you put me with Big E, then you put me with Rap. Well, like why did raps come to mind?
So, all right. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit because
I ain't tell the story right.
no, I'm gonna take it back because I think this is important because I came from the music industry. I started off there, but going all the way back, I grew up on 3 things: hip hop, pro wrestling, and boxing. Right? Those are 3 things I grew up on. And when I did music, when I started off in music, I always wanted to shine the spotlight and tell the stories of the people who weren't getting the light, that were dope, but they were cut from a different cloth. So Rapsody is one of those people. Back then, when I first heard it with Cooley High, it threw 2 dope boys in shape. When I heard her, I was like, yo, there's nobody that rhymes like this as a woman, right? But let's take it a step further. There's nobody that rhymes like this, period, right? So I always wanted to document that. With boxing, I always felt like it's a sport that's dominated by minorities, but it's not being promoted to minorities, right? And I thought there's no way, there's no connective tissue. Even when you watch commentary, like I love Brian Kinney, I love Sergio Moore, I love those guys, but there's not a lot of people like us that translate that language to the people.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling is everything. Promotion, everything is pro wrestling, right? So it's like when you had a black pro wrestler like Big E, who has a very magnetic personality, he's not just some big guy that's throwing people around. And I always felt like everything is pro wrestling. The presentation of boxing, the walkout is such a significant thing. It's something that people remember if it's done right. I don't do anything that doesn't have meaning.
Right.
I don't just trot out a rapper with a fighter. Or I don't write about things that I don't like. Everything's got to be significant because how I grew up, everything has impacted me in some way, shape, or form, and it shaped my life. So when this opportunity came up for this, the E thing, it just made sense. There was nothing that was said that was like, oh, that don't even make any sense. It works. Knowing who you are, know who he is. And I was like, well, with rap, because the first person we mentioned was Royce. And it just wasn't going to work out. I think we talked about Wale for a hot second too. And I was thinking, I was like, yo, rap would work. And I was trying to think of the song that would work before you figured it out. And I hadn't even got to guys. I was thinking Power. I was thinking of a few songs, right? And I was trying to figure it out. But when it all came together, it was one of those things where I said, let's take this step further. How many women are walking male fighters to the ring in a championship fight? I don't want to do just a regular walkout. No disrespect to any fighter, but when you just walking out and I got a rapper with you that's just rapping and they can't even hear themselves, this is key. Rappers that walk out with fighters, the lyrics are muffled. You can't hear anything. They off the beat. You was on the money the whole walkout.
Yeah, I don't play.
And she when Trip Me Out was you redubbed the track, right?
Yeah, but they didn't play that one.
Oh, yeah,
They played the wrong one.
Yeah, we asked them that rehearsal. I was like, they actually played the wrong one. I was like, nah, it's the other one. They got it right. But when we walked out, they took it back to the
And
old
she
one.
still did it.
Yeah.
So
what a pro.
Yeah.
just a pro. But my thing was like when I wanted to do this, it meant the world to me because I was like, first of all, you not telling me this was your last fight. I should have read the tea leaves. Everything that you said was kind of hinting towards it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting it, right?
Yeah.
Like I was so focused on making this look incredible.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Me and E talked every day. We were texting. I was like, let's make sure this works. I want to make this mean something.
Yeah.
I want this to be significant, just in general.
Yeah.
More importantly, I've never met anybody in boxing like you.
Yeah.
I've covered this sport for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't make a lot of friends because it's not important to me to rock with people who don't think like me or not. If I wouldn't rock with you outside of this sport, I can't rock with you. You're somebody I felt like I could always rock with outside this sport. If we met on the corner, we could be friends.
Right.
With rap, yeah, I love your music, but I love a lot of people's music.
Right.
But her soul is just different. E's the same way. When we met, it was just like we talked every day. And obviously, we're working on Our Heroes Rock as well, which is like the Schoolhouse Rock Black History cartoon. But it's like things that we wanted to create. So when this all came together, I wanted to make sure that when it happened, people would talk about it.
Yeah.
Not just in a way like, that's dope.
Yeah.
But it was like, it looked amazing. It looked like a pro wrestling entrance.
Yeah.
Everything worked and came together. Then we do it, and you got the choir with the light. And, my messages are blowing up that people that knew that I put it together, helped put it together, they was like, yo, that's amazing. But here's the thing. When it was done, you exhale, right? Because you're in the moment, you stress out. I was like, dang, I hope we don't blow this. Dang, I hope I can get rap out here. Dang, I hope we can get E out here to do this. Dang, I hope you like it. I didn't want you to walk out of something that you didn't like.
Right.
When it was over, and then you retired, and I sat there, and I was like, I can't believe this man just trusted me with his last walkout.
Yeah.
And I got emotional for a minute.
Yeah.
Because if I told 16-year-old me, hey, Andreas, one day
Yeah.
you're going to get a pro wrestler who's also your friend, that's the WWE champion of the world, and you're gonna get one of your favorite rappers in the world who's also your friend, and put it with one of the best fighters in the world that's also your friend, and you're gonna create this walkout for his final introduction to the world.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Why he did this on? This is supposed to be Motivational Monday. He's supposed to.
Yeah,
do
this is true.
But when rap talks about, I'm from, like, I was born in New York, but I live here,
Yeah.
right? I never had anybody teach me how to get in the music game. I just did it because I love documenting the culture.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody, right? And I've always wanted to open the doors for other people to know that, yeah, you can do this too. Like somebody like Rapsody, who a lot of people would say, she's never gonna make it, she's too dope. People say this.
Yeah.
She's too lyrical, she'll never make it.
Yeah.
Nominated for a Grammy. Tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
Somebody like Shawn, they was like, oh man, back when there was people like, oh man, he's just like a football player that could fight. But you got skill, and you're a two-time champion. And then they were like, oh, he's too nice to fight. If you meet him, they're like, that's not a fighter. Yeah, he is. He got a switch. He can flip it.
Yeah.
When you see Big E, you're like, he's just a pro wrestler. He's a big meathead. But you see how charismatic and articulate he is.
Yeah.
People can do other things and bleed into this. And at the end of the day, when you put it all together, it's something that's beautiful.
For sure.
And for that to be your last walkout, for you to trust me with that,
Yeah.
I said it after the fight,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of trust. You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, man, that's where I come from. I mean, this is the Porter way. You know what I mean, it's the Porter way. Everybody that's in here right now, and even the producers in there, we all have this understanding. We all have this genuine love about whatever it is that's going on right now. It's the podcast. Outside of the podcast, it's me wanting to make you smile. You wanting to, hang out, and the list goes on. We still have yet. We got to get up some more and make some other things happen. You know what I mean? But collectively, that's why I named this show the Porter Way, because everything that y'all talking about, everything that we talk about, when you speak about the Porter Way, eventually it'll all encompass that, and everybody will know what you're talking about when you're talking about the Porter Way. You know what I mean? So thank y'all for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Sharing in this story with me and us, and we gonna have you back. But I think we got to do like some Motivational Monday type stuff, because I think it's something that has to happen, man.
I mean, it's the thing is like there's energy, right? Like I'm a big believer in energy because
likewise,
there's a lot of people I just don't like.
Yeah.
My circle is small. Like I just don't like a lot of people. People see all the things I do. It's like, you got a lot of friends. My circle is tiny.
You notice he looked at Zittel after he said there's certain people he doesn't like.
Nah,
He was like, I really don't like people.
But I don't like people who can't match energy or can't match love, right?
Yeah.
Or can't match belief.
Yeah.
Or you got to be dope. That's one of my things. Like, I don't rock with people who aren't dope in my scope. Like, I've met a lot of people who rap, and I'm like, that's not something I like. I'm always impressed by people who do things that I can't do.
Yeah.
You fight, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You rhyme the way that you do. Even all the articles I wrote in the world, there's some things that you've done, and I was just like, man, I couldn't even conceptualize that.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this big dude, like, taking bumps, but then it's just like got the charisma.
Mm-hmm.
It's energy. Mm-hmm. Most importantly, especially when it comes to you, is you didn't need boxing.
Yeah.
Like, you left this sport, and there's a lot of people that leave the sport and they can't retire because they go, oh, this is all I got.
Yeah.
The moment you retired, there's like, Shawn gonna come back, and I was like, I ain't never seen a man more at peace.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. Like, you retired, and it was not like stress or I'll be back or the game's gonna call me. Like, the way you were answering questions at the press conference.
Yeah.
I was watching, and I was like, people were like, he's coming back. I was like, he's done.
It's crazy. The last thing I say, and then we'll be done. But the first time I've said this before, the first time I thought that I would retire was after I fought Errol Spence Jr. And I literally, like, I didn't do it that night, of course. And then I was in my room trying to feel like, how do I tell my dad that I'm done boxing, that I don't want to fight anymore? And I was like,
was he the hardest person to tell?
Yeah, at that point in time, he was, because it was like, yo, once you tell your dad, then nobody else matters. You know what I mean?
I never will. I'll just, instead of telling him, I'll just keep fighting.
It was a little bit of that. That honestly was a little bit of that. And I was like, well, if I keep fighting, what's my mark?
Yeah.
Because if I can't, like, just do
keep
it,
going,
and I don't want to do it anymore, you know? And I was like, it's got to be Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
In the room, my dad was like, do you want to go to the press conference? I was like, yeah, let's go. He's like, you going to put your suit on? I was like, no, let's go. Like I knew what it was. Yeah. And I was so cool with it. No butterflies, you know what I mean? Didn't talk to my dad about it, right? So remember the first time I was like nervous, like, how do I tell my dad? Second time I was like, yeah, I'm
He'll yell at
done.
me afterwards. I'll just say it now.
You know, and not that I didn't care what he thought, but it just like for me being at peace with the moment, even though it didn't go the way that I wanted to. Essentially, I think it did because I got what I wanted to get. I got to get in the ring with that man and challenge him, and where everybody told me I couldn't get in the ring with him. I'm all about beating the odds, you know what I mean? And so that's what I tried to do, and you know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. We don't have the button, so I appreciate you. Yeah, so, and I appreciate y'all for sharing in that too.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right, just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.